limestone mines in the castle mill with the canal network so that he could make use of cheap, efficient canal transport to move his limestone. That was the plan. And he worked for treat, made a lot of money. Right, let's have a look at the tunnel itself. Now as we get further in, you'll notice how the walls on the roof of the tunnel slowly turn to a sort of creamy grey. Well, that's something called limestone calcite. Limestone which is dissolved in rainwater coming through the ground above. When it gets to this side of the brickwork, the water evaporates and it leaves the limestone behind. So you get these build-ups occurring. What limestone calcite is basically is the same stuff you get in your washing machine or your electric kettle.
Some cal done round it then. Some cal gone.
Right, now building a tunnel over 200 years ago was literally stick and string. There was a lot of very rudimentary work. What they did first of all was to survey the line on the surface above, mark it out with wooden pegs knocked into the ground. When they'd done that, they would sink a series of vertical construction shafts down to the required depth along the line of the tunnel. On reaching the required depth, they would then start to tunnel away from each other and towards each other at the bottom until eventually everybody joined up and all the little tunnels merged into one big one. That way they could work much quicker because they could move more spoil and also be more accurate as well. Over the years, all the construction shafts have been filled in bar 3. There were 12 to start with. There's only 3 now, like I say, of the 3 we class under 2. The first one will be coming up in a couple of boat lengths. I wonder why this construction shaft is right next to broad daylight. It's because it wasn't broad daylight. Mill Basin was actually underground, and furthermore it was an underground wall for 2 mines, one on the right and one on the left. It wasn't until a much later date they took the top off and opened it up to the sky.
Who's my hat?
Nothing to use, Joe.
Daylight. 2 minutes. Oh.
So we're coming through into Castle Mill Basin. Castle Mill Basin was originally Castle Mill Mine, and it was the mine that this first length of tunnel was built for, to get limestone out of Castle Mill was why it was built, and it was very successful, obviously eventually to the point where the mine was worked out. On the right hand side, behind the dredger, you can see another tunnel with a grid over the end of it. It's the Wren's Nest tunnel. It's 2/3 of a mile long and stretches as far as the huge great mine called the Seven Sisters. And subject to finance, in a year or two's time, that will be open to the general public. In fact, work started on it today. That's what the dredger's doing. I just brought it through this morning. Right in front of us you can see Chris backing out of the main Dudley tunnel. We're going in the 89 tunnel in the middle. And in the corner under the ivy you can just make out another entrance which leads into Murder Mine. That called murder mine about 1960 when mining engineers down here discovered the skeleton of a young woman. Thanks, Chris.
Again.
Right, we're in the 89 tunnel. The 89 tunnel was a new construction. It was built as a replacement for the original tunnel, which was beyond repair. So we've got a new tunnel. You can see that it's got a concrete lining, and despite that concrete lining, the calcite still finds its way through. As well as the white calcite marks, you get rusty coloured marks as well. That's iron oxide. But there's also iron ore in the ground. Now the reason why the black country is where it is because of what was in the ground. And what was in the ground was iron ore, coal, limestone and fireclay, all in abundance. Lots of it, so much so I think at the time they thought it would last forever. This just goes to show how wrong it could be. So they've got all the raw materials, but they were short of one thing, and that was transport. Decent transport didn't exist. Transport consisted mainly of pack horses, as well as horses, carts and wagons running on roads which barely existed. So transport was very costly, inefficient and unreliable. That all changed with the building of the canal network. Once the canal system was built, you got a bulk transport system the length and breadth of England for the first time. Very short, we will be coming into a cavern called Little Tess. The Little Tess was formerly an underground canal junction, and in there you're going to have your first audio-visual display.